And a good spiritual morning to you once again. I'm Father Cosmas. Thanks for joining me today for a quick chat and, of course, our morning cup of coffee. And last time I had some fun getting myself in trouble talking about Tucker Carlson, Vladimir Putin. Not much. But I thought today I'd have a lot of fun and really go out there and get myself into trouble. So God to give me the strength to make this video because it's going to be fun. I recently saw the movie Oppenheimer, right? It was streaming. It's streaming now, so I saw it. What did I think of the movie? Just a couple seconds. It's long, it's tense, it's exhausting. It's not that great. It's okay. I can't really recommend it. There's some nudity. I fast forward because, I can because it's streaming. But really, it wasn't an amazing film. It was long and it was tense. And, a drama can have tension, but in order to feel the tension, you should also feel the opposite of that. At some point, you have to take a breath. And I don't feel like the movie ever took a breath. Right? You were just underwater for 3 hours. You want to come up and take a breath. There wasn't a lot of that. There was just tension for 3 hours. Even the performances, not that great. The actor that played Oppenheimer, I don't remember his name, from Peaky Blinders, right? It was an amazing performance. It was okay. Like they told him, well, look off into the distance and pretend you're seeing a bomb explode. Look, and that tension and that horror. Okay, hold that. Now just do that for 3 hours. Not a lot of range there. It would have been nice to see a little bit more range in the acting. It was a little bit shallow in that way. It doesn't matter. It's not really about the movie that I want to get into trouble today. It's about the impact of technology, right? Because the atomic bomb, we're thinking about one of the greatest impacts from technology in the 20th century on modern life. You might say, well, the atomic bomb was invented in the 20th century, in the 40s. That's huge. That's the biggest one. I might argue with that a little bit. Talking about negative impact on modern society. The atomic bomb started off in a way that, well, it's supposed to be a good thing, right? We're going to win the war. This is a weapon that's going to let us end the war. Japan's not going to surrender, so we're going to have to invade Japan. Do you really want a ground war in Japan? We're going to fight. We're going to lose millions of lives. We're going to drop 2 bombs. Boom, end the war. It's a positive. There's good things. Now, at the back end, we see the horror that results from having an atomic or nuclear weapon. And so other things like that coming out of the 20th century, I don't know, the internet, late 20th century, but still, well, a way of connecting people, disseminating information. How could that possibly be bad? Now think about what the internet is typically used for. How much is coming out of that because of the dissemination of information, research papers and all sorts of things. How much is just straight wasting time, video games, pornography, God knows what, OnlyFans, what has come out of the internet, realistically? Starting off something good, ending up horrifying, just like the atomic bomb. Cellular phones, the first big clunky ones coming out, in the 80s or so? Well, Father, how could you be, we all have a cellular phone. You have a cellular phone. I do, of course. It's supposed to connect people. It's supposed to put, technology in the palm of your hand, connect you to the world, allow you to talk to people and see people wherever you are, save lives. Sure, the original intent. Now, how is it being used on a regular basis? We're now taking pictures of everything we do. We're posting them. We're taking videos of everything we do. We don't know how to live and be in the moment anymore and just live because we have to worry about how we look online based on what we're doing with our phone. It's become more of a camera and a recording device than it has become a phone. So again, starting off as something positive, but the potential difficulty and horror as a result. And here's the one that's really going to get me into trouble. But I thought, let's have some fun and throw it out there. About 10 years or so after the bomb, early 50s, the birth control pill is invented. Now, a lot of modern thinkers think when you talk about inventions of the 20th century and you have to talk about one that has a lasting impact on society, the birth control pill is actually bigger than the bomb. And I might agree with that. It's at least, you can make the case for it. You can argue, well, what are you talking about? Again, same thing. Initial positive, right? We're going to allow families to do planning. Husbands and wives are going to do family planning. It should reduce the mortality rate amongst women. It should reduce divorce. It should reduce poverty. It should reduce domestic violence. It should reduce all of those things. How are those things doing right now? Not so good. Divorce, domestic violence, poverty, not so good. We're not doing great. And what have we really done? Well, that invention has taught women to regard sex the way that men do. We don't even want men to think about sex the way that men do, let alone women. Women are supposed to be the reasonable ones. They're supposed to be the smart ones. They're supposed to realize that intimacy is an amazing, important act. It's a miracle that could result in childbirth. So, of course, equal rights. And don't say, well, Father, are you arguing against women's rights and against women's health care? We use that word a lot now. Of course not. I'm not arguing for that. Women have equal rights. They should have equal rights. We should think of them equally. But equal rights, not equal fights. We say that now, right? Can't hit a woman. You're not allowed to hit a woman. Why can't you hit women? Why aren't you allowed to hit a woman? Well, because they're the weaker sex. Don't say that. You're really going to get canceled. That's not true. We don't think that anymore. Well, why then? Why are we supposed to protect and cherish and honor women? I don't know. Because they might be pregnant? Because they give birth to life. They might be carrying your baby. That's why you don't hit a woman, dum-dum, because they might be carrying your baby. They give birth, life. But birth control has taken that away. So now what happens? 70 years later, we don't even know what a woman is anymore. We can't even define it anymore. Now you have people out there saying a woman is someone that thinks they're a woman. Okay, great definition. The internet has really paid off in your education. Now we have problems. And think about this. Why? Because of the misuse of technology. Something that's there that could be a positive, all of a sudden becomes horrifying, just like Oppenheimer, just like the atomic bomb. And so for us in our day-to-day lives, we want to think, how can I sort of make sure that I'm back on track, that I'm not going off the rails, that I'm using the technology that's available to me to make sure that it's benefiting me in my day-to-day life. It's not taking me further and further away from being like Christ. It's benefiting me in that way. It's building me up as a Christian, not tearing me down. And that's something that we have to assess and think about, and really critically think about how we're using technology and how it can be a blessing and benefit us, because there is a potential horror in all of it if it's misused, and it can take us away from Christ rather than what we want it to be doing, which is getting us closer and closer to Christ, and doing that each and every day. Amen.